and this here may be tough to you. Snack cake to me, yeah, more hostess. This been overdue forever. Asked me when it was dropping, said never. Should've made you cut the feta, but I designed it Freemason Margiela.
What's good, Shellitronnn here, the most woke, no joking. I'm back again with a brand new video, and I'm gonna keep it a bold bread biscuit. I've been seeing these articles, I've been seeing these lists, and I've been seeing these schedule and record prediction lists from these different news outlets and sports outlets. I've seen the Bleacher Report, the CBS Sports one. I think it was an NBC Sports one. There was an ESPN one. I've seen all of them, man. It was one from that guy Darren Newsom. You know what I'm talking about? Who pretty much hedged his bet, saying we can win somewhere between 9 and 11 games. Wouldn't even have the courage or the guts to even. Never mind. I won't even talk about how. I mean, pick a number. I'm not even going to react to any of those record/schedule predictions. I'm doing my own. And I'm actually going to do some score predictions as well. But before I get to that, man, make sure you follow me on Twitch. That's twitch.tv. That's twitch.tv/Shellitronnn. The link's in my description below. Every Sunday of this football season. So check me out there. It will not be on YouTube. I'll still do some live streams here, but it won't be the pregame show. It'll be a lot less often than I will be on Twitch. Alright, first week of the season, we have the Cowboys at home. This is the perfect matchup for us because, look, the Cowboys' strengths are running the ball, and their weaknesses are passing the ball. They have Dak Prescott, number one, but honestly, they have no receivers, and they have no tight ends. The O-line's good, except the center, Travis Frederick, has an autoimmune disorder, and he might go on IR. Their guard, Zach Martin, is hurt. He's going to miss the first week, and their safety, Xavier Woods, isn't even playing. There's a lot of different things happening right now. We can talk about Randy Gregory, who I think is also going to be out in this game, their defensive end. So we have a lot of things that are working in our favor. Our biggest strength is stopping the run, and our biggest weakness is coverage. We have a really great front seven, but we're looking at a situation where we can really get some push on the inside. And you have 2K Short and Dontari Pope up there making moves. I will say we do have Thomas Davis Sr. out for his 4-game suspension, so he won't be out there with the front seven with the linebacker core. But Shaq Thompson's been really good, and he can cover, he can hit. You have Luke Kuechly, which, do I need to say more? Make them pass the ball. Put the ball in Dak Prescott's hand and force him to win the game. Ezekiel Elliott cannot get a head of steam going, and then put the ball in Dak's hands and make him make the plays. When I'm thinking 23-14, Carolina, we win this game, and we start off 1-0. Week 2 versus the Falcons. This is going to be tough. I mean, historically, we haven't played very well in Atlanta. The Falcons coming off a tough win versus Philly, in my opinion. Divisional matchups are always tough to decide, especially when both of them are contenders and both are strong on both sides of the ball. The real question is, who controls the ground? There's no Thomas Davis Sr. versus a good run game from Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman of the Falcons. And, I mean, if they can run the ball, and they can pass to Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu, Calvin Ridley, who won't have the impact I think most people are thinking he's going to have this year, but he'll still have a pretty solid impact as a rookie. I think this is a game that we might drop kind of close, and it may come down to the wire, but it really comes down to this right here. Steve Sarkisian's second year of coaching, of calling plays, and for the Falcons, will he do better? We saw a lot of different things with him, you know, calling bubble screens on like 3rd and 12 and calling an end around on like 4th and goal, like on like the 2 or the 1 yard line. A lot of weird play calls from him. So we got to see exactly what he does here versus Norv's play calling on offense. I'm thinking it's a loss here from a close margin, 21-24. We start off 1-1. Bengals, 3rd game of the year. We're at home. This shouldn't be too hard of a game. Don't be fooled. The Bengals aren't a bad team. They're just decent. Andy Dalton gets a lot of hate, but he works well enough for being coached by Marvin Lewis. You can't really blame him too hard for that. And this weapon's like AJ Green, Tyler Eifert. You got Mixon and an unproven speedster with John Ross. But apart from that, I mean, Mixon couldn't even crack 650 yards last year. I mean, the number 2 and 3 receivers on the team got 225 yards and 63 yards in the air. But there's studs on defense with Carlos Dunlap, who had 7.5 sacks. Geno Atkins had 9 sacks last year. But the thing is, the DB starters all got only 1 interception each last year. So it's going to be tough. I mean, Darqueze Dennard got 2, but not enough for this game. I have us winning 31-17. We go off 2-1. Week 4, we have that terrible early bye. Sucks, but what are you going to do about it? That's the scheduling community. Week 5, we have the Giants at home. I mean, looking at their schedule, they can easily come into this game 0-4. Really, really discouraged when they're expecting a breakout year. Look at their opening schedule. Jags at Cowboys, divisional matchup. At Texans, Saints at Carolina, Philly, at Atlanta, and then Redskins. They might only get one win before the Redskins, and 2 is probably kind of pushing it. But even with OBJ getting his shmoney and Evan Ingram coming into his own, I think that this game is really going to be about stopping Saquon Barkley and making sure he can't get started and double teaming OBJ and making Russell Shepard, making Sterling Shepard, making this guy Evan Ingram at the tight end spot try his luck against our safeties, or maybe even Luke and Shaq Thompson, and see what we can do about that. I think we really have to pack the box. Don't let Saquon Barkley win this game for them. Don't let him control anything. Make Eli win this game for them. Eli is good in the playoffs. Well, 2 of the 6 times he's been in the playoffs, he's been good. I mean, you have Harrison on the D-line. You have Ogletree and Olivier Vernon out there on the edges doing pretty good. But can they handle Greg Olsen? I mean, you had Eli Apple. Will he bounce back to being kind of, sort of, maybe mediocre again or decent? Who knows? Other than that, there's a solid secondary, but we'll have to put lots of pressure on Eric Flowers, who got moved from left tackle to right tackle. Bring pressure and make sure Eli does not have time. You really can't throw deep when there's a party in the backfield every single time you drop back. This is a game we win 27-17, Carolina, really based off our defense. Week 6, we have the Redskins, a decent quarterback added to a decent team with a bad front office. Look, man, there's pretty alright talent. The best way to put this team is to say the word decent. We have Doxson, you have Jordan Reed, Paul Richardson, Jamison Crowder, but the name of the game is pressure, and with Thomas Davis Sr. returning this game, we are going to be dialing up the pressure on Alex Smith. Now, Alex Smith gets a lot of hate for being a game manager and kind of like a mid-tier quarterback. But in the years, he actually had a really good, actual, smart offensive coordinator and a head coach, Harbaugh. Talking about Andy Reid. He did well. In Washington, there's Jay Gruden, and I think that's all I can really say about this game right here. Obviously, Josh Norman is good. I mean, Ryan Kerrigan's good. DJ Swearinger are names that really worry me. But, I mean, this is going to be a slight work kind of game for our run game and underneath speed routes. So, I think that we're going to get this game in a low-scoring affair, 20-13. 4-1. Eagles game in Philadelphia. Carson Wentz should be back by now. I can just name out their whole depth chart. Jay Ajayi, Darren Sproles on the ground. These are guys you have to worry about. Zach Ertz is going to be a challenge for our linebackers. Neither team could run when we met last year. No one could run or even pass. It was a bad game. It was a kind of surprisingly high scoring for how bad the stats were in that game. It wasn't good at all. I mean, I think Cam threw 2 or 3 picks in that one. But the real thing for me is that their D-line will get a lot of pressure on our kind of patchwork offensive line to start off with. So I'm a little bit worried about that. And Cam's going to have to be on target and stay on target. Like I said, he had 3 interceptions. And there's guys like Ronald Darby, Jalen Mills, Malcolm Jenkins. I mean, 3 interceptions last year. It's a really tough sell on the road against the defending champs. I got to say, look, kind of close. 17-24. We dropped this one. End up 4-2. Week 8, Ravens at home. By week 8, I expect to be seeing RG3 or Lamar Jackson in this game. If it's Flacco still, easy W. Go ahead and skip to the next segment about the Buccaneers. Spoiler alert, we win that game at home. But if it's RG3 or Lamar Jackson, I'm thinking you just contain them, keep a spy out there, and honestly, make them win the game through the air. Alex Collins was number 11 in yards on the ground, number 15 in rushes. He had 973. So, I mean, make sure that we can stop that run, stop Alex Collins, and I think the rest of the game is going to come a little bit smoother. There's only one real target in Crabtree, so we can cover him well enough. I mean, check John Brown and Willie Snead's stats from last year. Get back to me. You know I've been saying these stats in this video, but look at their stats last year and talk to me about what you think their production is going to be this year. I think this is a game that's going to be kind of close just because of those strong linebackers of the Ravens, but we win this game closely. 17-14. We probably don't score a lot late. We just end up 5-2. Week 9 versus the Bucks. I already spoiled it. We win this game. I mean, you know what it is. 27-17. End up 6-2. Thursday night primetime game. Early November. Up north after 2 home wins. Look, barring Steelers injuries and them just falling off the face of the earth, we probably lose this game. I mean, no team has an answer for AB. No team has an answer for Le'Veon. Big Ben wants to make this a prove-it season for him. They got Landry Jones in the draft pick in the 4th round. He got really upset. And he wants to prove he still has it so that when the offseason comes around in January, he can pump fake retirement and people will actually care a little bit about it. If he doesn't play well this season, he's going to pump fake the retirement either way. People probably won't care as much. So he has to put up numbers this year with his already stacked team. just so people will still care about him pump faking his retirement. We lose this game 34-20. Then we have the Lions in Detroit. We always play some really good games against them, and Matt Stafford is the comeback king, but I'm really thinking that I'm not worried about this game too much. There's no real run game. There's no real tight ends. Golden Tate and Marvin Jones are the whole offense. I think they both got 1,000 yards receiving last year, which is kind of tough. I won't lie about that. So if we can find a way to disrupt their production and limit mistakes on offense, then we can probably find a way to eke this win out. Look, Darius Slay is a problem. He had 8 interceptions last year. So I'm looking at this game and I'm thinking to myself, what can we really do against this team? They only got 35 sacks last year, which means their pass rush isn't that amazing, and they allowed 1,800 rush yards last year, which means their run defense probably isn't that great. I didn't see very many really convincing pickups in this offseason in the draft for them. So I'm thinking this could be a game where we go pass heavy with our tight ends, with Greg Olsen and Ian Thomas, and this underneath passes with our speed guys, Christian McCaffrey out there, C.J. Anderson. Stay underneath, control the clock. Darius Slay can't do too much against the run and against these underneath routes. If they pull him down, we have speedsters. I mean, he's fast too, but I'm thinking if they pull him down too often, he's not going to always get there. So I think we win this game in another close battle, 17-13. We're 7-3. The next game we had the Seahawks at home. And look, there was a time when the Seahawks were actually our nemesis. We ran a pretty similar offense, run first, run heavy honestly, and make sure you can go deep in the pass with a mobile quarterback. But our real hallmark was our defenses. The Seahawks had their secondary. It was our front seven, and it's remained that. The Seahawks secondary, not so much. Richard Sherman's on the 49ers. Byron Maxwell ain't that great no more. And it's looking like Earl Thomas is probably going to either leave or be super disgruntled. But by this time, we'll know whether he's in or out. Well, it'll determine like a lot more of the temperature of the game here. Our front seven is going to beat their O-line. There's no O-line there. Russell Wilson's going to be running the whole time. If we can contain, Marquise Haynes might be the key to this game. Marquise Haynes is an edge rusher who has speed. So if he can stay and keep up with Russell Wilson with that speed on the edge, I mean, that could be really what we're looking for here. I'm telling you right now, man, I'm sorry, Sierra. I'm good, love, enjoy. 27-17, we're 8-3. Bucks week 13 in Tampa Bay. I mean, look, maybe if we score 40, coach let us go to Adventureland or Adventure Island after the game and eat at Ocean Prime. But my score prediction is 38-21, so we don't get to go to Adventure Island. We only get to go 9-3 and sweep the Bucks again. All right, now Browns week 13. Everyone who's a Panthers fan, even guys who aren't Panthers fans, know about the Carolina even year curse, how we always do well in odd years and do pretty poorly in even years. But not a lot of guys know about how we seem to always drop a game that we should win to a team that we should never lose to. 2014, we tied the Bengals and gave up 2 17-point quarters. 2015, we should have went undefeated, but got beat by the Falcons. 2016, we got swept by the Bucks. And last year, the Bears beat us by a grip with Trubisky going 4 for 7. Eddie Jackson, I think it was. A fumble 6 and a pick 6, I think it was. That's just disgusting. That will probably happen again to us this year. Tyrod Taylor probably gets yanked for Baker Mayfield. Baker's going to be surrounded by weapons. I mean, who on our team is going to actually be covering Jarvis Landry? Who's going to hold Jarvis Landry to a small amount of receptions and yards? Okay, cool. Good answer. I actually respect that answer. But tell me, who's covering Josh Gordon? Josh Gordon is dominant, and I think this is a game we get a little too cocky. There's so many weapons on the field. Their defense is solid. We get a little cocky, and we drop it a little bit late. 14-21. The Browns beat us. It's our one game we drop of the year from a team that we probably should beat. We end up 9-4. Monday Night Football. The Saints are borderline unstoppable at home, but in Carolina, we have to bottle up the run and don't get discouraged if and when Drew Brees scores quick on offense. What we want to do is have a really good run game and really great underneath passes, like the what game was that earlier? I mentioned. I forgot what game it was. I'm doing recordings so spread out. You'd be surprised. But I think if we control the run game, make sure we control the clock and limit what Drew Brees can do because he'll be off the field. Underneath throws, Ian Thomas is going to be really important in this game. I think keep it in our possession for the most part, and we can win this game 20-17, very, very late. Probably win by a field goal at the end of the game, not like a late touchdown, something like that. Next game is the Falcons at home. Now, look, back-to-back home games against division opponents. I'll take it. But I think we're going to be on a roll here after beating the Saints. We're going to have a lot more confidence here. And I think this is going to be a really good game. It's on the 23rd. And I don't care Who's been naughty? Who's been nice in Atlanta? All I know is if you come into Charlotte wearing red and black, the man in red and white only got fresh, piping hot L's for you. We're going to have 53 of those ready to serve up for the Falcons, man. If the coaching staff wants a few too, we got a couple in the back. We ain't too greedy. Look, we win this game by, I think, 7 here, 24-17. We're in here 11-4. Last game of the season versus the Saints in New Orleans. Look, I don't see them slowing down and letting up here in week 17. It'll probably be a quick little L for us, 14-24. In the season, 11-5 again. But what do you guys think, man? You got any ideas about my score predictions, what I said about the teams, my write-ups, and that kind of stuff, man? Let me know in the comments below. And you already know to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Being told y'all I been the man. Being told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend, real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.